The thought of retirement for a lot of you is a scary proposition, and I don't blame you. There's a lot of transition as you go from working in the workforce, collecting a paycheck, to paying yourself your own paycheck. Very different lifestyle. You're not waking up going to work every day. It's a big psychological transition. And today in this video, I want to talk about 5 things you need to make sure you're doing as you transition into retirement. And these are more kind of non-financial things to help you process and walk in. And these come directly out of financial plans that we've built for clients over the last many years. The first thing you need to do is make sure your will is up to date as well. Don't forget this, as well as your beneficiaries on all of your accounts. And all of that has to kind of flow in the right direction and in the same direction. So if you haven't updated your will in a while, or you've been divorced and remarried, or something substantial's happened in your life, you want to make sure you get that done. So go talk to your lawyer or notary or get that done. Secondly, do a full review of the beneficiaries listed on every single investment account you have. Now again, if you do your will and you say, my RSP goes to this person and the TFSA goes to this person, you kind of scatter it out, you probably want to make sure that your beneficiaries listed on your accounts actually do the same thing. Either they list your estate or they list the same people. Remember, with the TFSA account, your tax-free savings account, if you have a spouse or common law partner, you want to make sure you list them as a successor beneficiary or a successor holder, some places call it as well. You don't want them listed as a regular beneficiary, you want them as a successor. Now this is only for a spouse or common law partner. It can't be for kids or grandkids or a friend or anything like that. So if you don't have a spouse or common law partner, list a beneficiary. But if you do, make sure you list a successor holder. We have a full video on that. We'll link that up above here. But you want to ensure that successor holder because it's going to create more tax planning and tax efficiency when you pass away. The second thing you need to do is prepare for cash flow from your investment. So if you spent the last 30, 40, maybe more years building up your investment accounts and you have different kind of buckets of investments and it's been save, let it compound, let it work, let it do its thing. Now you're making that kind of tipping point, that transition into you actually need to draw an income from your account. Now it might be 2 or 3%, it might be 10 or 15% of the account. Everyone's going to be a little bit different, but the reality is all of you watching this video when you hit retirement are going to need to draw an income from somewhere. And that might be a little bit of CPP and OAS, but your investment accounts are probably going to be a good chunk of the monthly, weekly, annual, however you take it, income that you're going to draw out. So it might be time to review your investments and ensure that there's some sort of cash flow. And the benefit of kind of creating a retirement plan and then having kind of a cash flow plan around your investments that tie into your plan is that when stock markets dip, we know markets are going to go like this, but over time they kind of trend up. So it's a slow trend up. But we do know that there's kind of these dips. And what you don't want to have to do is, sell a stock or sell a mutual fund or whatever you're invested in when we're in a dip. So if you can create a cash flow plan that creates that cash flow for you out of your investments without really having to sell in it down. Now, that doesn't mean creating like a high yield investment type thing. It just means, okay, let's have some maturing bonds, some dividends, whatever it is. Just so if you do have to sell a bit, you're not selling all of your cash flow needs kind of at the bottom of that dip. And that's what we do as part of our retirement income program that we do for our clients is we build a plan. They work with one of our investment professionals, and we work hand in hand with the investment firm to make sure that, look, John and Sally need X amount out of their RSP, out of their TFSA, out of their non-reg, whatever accounts they have, and we ensure that the investment, the way it's structured, is going to provide the income that they need so that we're not kind of liquidating their investments when we don't know what the future markets are going to do. So focus on cash flow. Make sure that you review your investments. You may need to make some changes to ensure that your cash flow needs are going to be met going forward. The third thing you need to do, and this was really the one that kind of drove this video for me. I was going to do a full video just on this, but I thought, I'll put 5 in here. But it's to make sure you review your insurance needs. And before you kind of stop the video, it's not, hey, you should go buy insurance. I'm not, yes, I am insurance licensed. We put insurance in place for clients when it's necessary. But to be honest with you, we probably cancel more insurance policies than we put in place. And the reason is we work with a lot of retirees. That's mainly who we work with. And as you kind of transition into retirement, get close to retirement or into retirement, the likelihood that you need the life insurance that you bought many years ago is probably pretty slim. Just take a look at what insurance you have, if any. A lot of you will have coverage at work, and that will kind of go away when you retire. But if you have individual coverage, maybe it's a term life insurance, universal, whole life, whatever it is, you want to review what you have, what you're paying for it, and if there's still a need for it. This really kind of bumped up against me this week. We were doing a financial plan for a client. So a client came over to us. We're building a plan. They brought their investments over. We're kind of doing the full retirement income program for them. What was interesting is their old advisor at, I'll say, a large insurance company was trying to convert their term life insurance that they were just paying a few dollars for every month. It was coming up for renewal, but they were also retiring. They were trying to convert them or move them into a whole life insurance policy that was going to be around $700 to $900 a month for the client for $50,000 of coverage. So a huge premium, a small amount of insurance. And the client came to me and said, hey, I know we're transitioning stuff to you, but we also have this going on. We just want to make sure kind of everything fits together. And when we built our plan and went through it with them, we realized, you guys don't need insurance anymore. That insurance, there's zero need for it. And if you were to buy that really expensive insurance that the insurance salesperson makes a ton of commission on, you're going to be short on your income need in retirement. So it's actually not going to help you. It's going to drastically hurt you, and it's going to take away probably your main trip every year that you want to take. So most of you don't need kind of whole life or universal life or permanent life insurance as you head into retirement. Hopefully you've built up a bit of a nest egg. If you're married, common law, one of you pass away, the assets kind of roll to the other person, they're going to be okay. The fourth thing you need to do, and this is so important, I've seen it firsthand in my life with some family members that have retired, and with a lot of our clients, you need to take care of your health and wellness. As you kind of transition to having more time, I actually just had a call with someone yesterday morning, and he just retired. And I said, how's it going? How's the transition? This is not a client of ours. It was the first time I'd ever talked to him. He's looking to kind of transition over to our firm. And I said, how's retirement? He goes, I love it. I get to wake up every single morning, and instead of running 2K, because that's all I had time for, I get to run 7 to 10K every day. And so he obviously lives a very healthy lifestyle, an active lifestyle. But it's also an encouragement for all of you to remember you need to keep moving your body. At the end of the day, you can have all the wealth in the world, but if you don't have your health, it's not worth too much. And I know a lot of you are going through very tough times health-wise. I encourage you to keep your spirits high, keep fighting through whatever you're fighting through. But if you are healthy, try and keep yourself that way. And I know some of it's out of our control, but a lot of it is in our control. What you eat, what you do, how you move, all of that. So as you transition to retirement, I want all of you to have a wonderful retirement. That's why I do this channel. I want you guys to maximize your income, minimize your tax, create strategy, all that. That's the reason we have this channel. But I can create the best financial retirement tax plan for you. But the second you become unhealthy, it's all derailed anyway. So make sure you take care of your health and wellness. And the fifth thing, which ties into number 4, is you want to look for healthcare coverage. So how is your healthcare going to be covered as you retire? And this is a concern for many of you. Now, most of you probably have some sort of coverage at work right now. When you retire, that probably goes away. The first thing to do is the coverage you have at work, can you continue that on into retirement? And if so, what's the coverage and what's the cost? And that's what it always goes back to. What are you going to pay for what you're going to get? Manulife, Blue Cross, they also have these follow me plans. So if you're on some sort of medication and your current work coverage isn't an option to continue, Blue Cross and Manulife have kind of a follow me, and Blue Cross, I forget what theirs is called, but basically coverages that you can continue on with without any medical underwriting. Now, the coverage amounts aren't great and the premiums are quite high, so you have to assess, is it worth it? If you're not on any medication, you're fairly healthy, but you're considering should I get some sort of coverage? My feedback to you and to all of you would be, look at the coverages out there. Blue Cross and Manulife are two of the bigger options out there, but I would say, do the assessment. Take your average year, what you're going to claim, dental, medical, physio, chiro, whatever you do, and put it through the plan. On paper, put it through the plan, how much you would get covered. Because some of these plans, they'll only cover you $50 for every massage or $20 for every massage. And, we'll cover 70% to dental up to $500 a year kind of idea. So, you're not getting covered for everything. It's not, giving 100% back, and your premiums might be quite high. So go through a typical year and see, look, if I make claims on everything I think I would typically, how much would I get back versus how much am I paying for this coverage? Most clients we've done this process with, it didn't make sense to buy coverage. Doesn't mean it won't for you, but but you need to do that homework. Now, a lot of you might work for a company or for the government where you can continue on with coverage at a discounted rate. Typically, your insurance coverages, like what you're actually covered for, will change as you get into retirement, but the coverage premium's pretty good. It's typically worth it as well. So again, look at your options. A lot of you kind of forget about this stuff, right? You hit retirement, there's so many things going through your head, and this list of 5 things, I want you to kind of go through each one as part of your plan, as part of the process entering into retirement, to make sure that you don't forget any of these, because these are kind of like side things that a lot of people will forget about as they enter into retirement, and I don't want that to be you.